just going to quickly record this video. So uh, it was a very hectic day for me because few days back I had filled a form in creators collective where 15 founders. So whoever filled the form, whoever had a startup, and the people who filled the form. From those, all the candidates who have filled the form, 15 candidates were filtered out and were called for a meetup in Indiranagar, Bangalore, Karnataka, India. Um, so luckily, I filled the form and I got selected for the meetup. And it was hosted by one of the most popular influencers like Apurvi or Dhruv. And these people, uh, they have like 15, 14 followers in their page. He, 30,000 followers. Apurvi has 149K followers. Dude. And I was in a room with them, talking with them. I did handshakes with them. I did fist bump with them. It sounds really cool. And so when I got this notification that I was selected for this event, eventually I was really happy. But the fact that it will be very tough for me to go there, as this is 1 hour far, and my parents didn't support me at all. They were like, if you wanna go book a rapido, go yourself. We are not going to help you. And then and then I had a JEE mains exam tomorrow. I need to prepare it right now. I have to study physics, I have to study maths, I have to study chemistry, and I have it tomorrow, and it's 300 marks, so I'm almost fucked up for that. Uh, then we have then After this, when I figured out a way, I took a rapido. I went to the event there. I was legit seeing trigonometry one shot in rapido because I had to prepare for this shit too, and I had the event too. So when I when I finally went out, and I when I went there, when I reached there, I learned a lot, and I have jotted down what and all I need to speak out, so that I'll explain you what and all happened, so you guys can get a good experience about it. So when I went there, the very first thing was the environment was chill. Unlike any other startup event where founders were very serious whenever you are talking to them, like the environment was completely chill. And Apu, Purvi, Apurvi was really chill. Apurvi, my bad, was really chill. They kept the environment chill, friendly. It's like you're just talking to your friends, and it's not like you're talking with some other founder or any other investor or something. So it's like really chill, you're talking with them. But during this process, like when I went there, the very first people I met were IITs. And since I was preparing for JEE, I legit went and I asked, what does that IIT label, what is the significance of the IIT label? And they become completely transparent. If you go to IIT, you ain't gonna learn a shit. Like it's not going to be useful. Like all the shit they're teaching there is not going to be useful at all. But the label of IIT allows you, it gives access for you to much more different connections, investors. See, if you're just having the IIT label, you'll just easily get a lakh per annum job. But no one wants to I don't want to do a job. But still, IIT label keeps you a step ahead. So when I went to pitch websites to doctors and all, when I tried to sell websites, they asked my degree. I told I don't have a degree right now. They asked, do you study in IIT? and I don't know, but it clearly highlights that what influence does that IIT tag? You're from IIT Madras or IIT Delhi, but it really highlights that in IIT, that tags influence in this Indian market. Okay, then when I entered the room, I saw a 15-year-old. I was really shocked because I thought there won't be any young entrepreneur in these event. But I saw a 15-year-old who was building a fintech startup. Bro, it's the one niche that I would never touch. It's like you're building and you're learning the deep roots of accountants and stuff and all. And it's something that I would never touch. At least I'm building domain, and I love building this operating system because it makes sense. It's quite, I know, I can understand the emotions regarding this, and regarding how it is for the chronic disease people, and how they want their operating system to be drafted out. And keeping that in mind, I can build domain, but a fintech startup is a different case, you see. So after that, after I met that 15-year-old, it was like really, I met him, I just talked with him, and the thing that highlights me in his character is that he's confident while speaking, which I'm not right now, but I think I'll improve. Whenever I went that I was not confident in with speaking with people there, but he was very confident. And I think it's now here comes the third thing that I learned: knowledge. Knowledge plays a huge role. If you know a lot, you can talk a lot. When you can talk a lot, you can prove points a lot. You can prove arguments a lot. Nishant is this guy. Let me just show you his image. So he is from IIT Madras. Okay. Now, people from IIT Madras. If you know what, why is this shit blurred? Uh, but yeah, I can tag his image later. But he's from IIT Madras, and he has a lot of information about this global market, and he listens to a lot of podcasts. So one thing that I realized here is a person who has a lot of knowledge in all sectors will always have upper hand, and that's something like, even if this guy does not have 1 to 5K followers, I really love this guy, and I look up to this guy because I want to make uh, I want to have same knowledge base like this guy. Then it will be much more easier for me to speak with people. I have DM'd people asking like, "Hey, I'm trying to build this shit. I need your recommendations." And that person, I reached out to a coding expert in United States. I had DM'd him regarding what tip will you give me? Like, I am trying to learn coding, but it's not coming. And he told, just figure it out. But when I told like, bro, there's a guild going that vibe coding is there, and without coding you can't succeed. I mean, without coding you can still build shit. And he told, right, if you have knowledge in that particular field, even if you don't execute it in your output, when you're meeting someone, you'll have things to talk related to that knowledge. And that thing, it sounds not so cool, but it's very valuable. And that's what I learned here from the concept of having building your knowledge. And there was a lot of shit that goes in regarding personal branding and all. So after this, this clips, I'll just add in those recordings, which from the meet where Dhruv is explaining how personal branding is done. I'll keep this short now. I think it's 9 minutes long. I'll do this quick. So after this we talked about personal branding, and there goes a lot into personal branding. So I have made this interactive mind map. I cooked something up, and what I understood was that you're creating a personal branding page where you're converting yourself from nobody to somebody. And while you're converting yourself from nobody to somebody, you need to give a value to people, like a value that they will care about. Because if no person actually gives a shit about you, if you're documenting your journey or putting a 365 challenge, no one gives a shit. I mean, people like doom scroll in metro. People stay up till night. They're just sleepy and they just doom scroll the thing. So if you want to hook them up, you need to have a content that provides value to these people. And that's what is personal branding. Personal branding is never perfection. So you need to identify trends, and yeah, you need to have a better hook, and you need to understand how to do personal branding. And then after it's not about perfecting your personal branding, but you need to break it down. You need to you need to first of all, look into yourself. How would you want your page to look like? If you have knowledge regarding that, then it will be much more easier for you to, uh, it will be much more easier for you to understand what type of content you need. And, I would say at the final takeaway is just be yourself in your content page, but keep up with the algorithm. Just follow the basics of Instagram, but don't copy anything. Just be yourself. And that's the theory of personal branding. It's like branding your personality so no more than one people knows you. And that's personal branding. So these are the stuff that I learned in the process. I mean, I learned a lot in that event, but still, I feel so fucked up. I feel very sad for some reason, because in that room there were several creators, and it felt like all of them were somewhat having the upper hand. They were trying new and they were having progress, and I have never complained about progress, because now, but the reason I'm blaming myself is because should I put more efforts? Because I have college, I'm putting crazy amount of efforts, but it feels like I think I didn't give my best. These people, all the people I met, they're doing crazy stuff. They are you know creating crazy output, and seeing that keeps gets a guilt in my heart, like, yo, am I one lagging back for all of them in that room? So getting inspired by that, I'm gonna keep working my ass. Maybe I'm gonna burn it more, so I can achieve what I dreamt. Thing that nags me a lot right now is I asked Dhruv to follow me, and he told no, because I'm not worth for it right now. If I keep posting regularly, it's going to follow me until I create my work through won't follow me. So I think that clarifies the stuff regarding you know doing regarding how I need to improve. It's just I'm just recording this shit, so I can tell what I learned. I learned a lot, but I'm just a bit pissed and depressed. Never mind about that. I'll keep posting content regularly. I'll keep myself updated, and yeah, I'm gonna achieve my dreams and I'm gonna go big in this life. Even though I'm having fucked up time. I'm fucking up all my progress. I'm fucking up all my deliverables. But I keep trying then. I mean, if you keep trying, you keep winning.